Welcome back to Get Down to Business. So I've been so excited for this conversation. I am absolutely thrilled to be joined by Jeff Newcorn, an expert in the area of work opportunity tax credit. His company provides the administration and calculation work necessary for his clients to accurately claim their work opportunity tax credits, which we're going to talk about in a moment. And Jeff is a contributing columnist to several publications, online newsletters. Jeff, welcome to the program.
Shalom. It's great to talk with you and your listeners.
Absolutely. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, we're going to get into the discussion a little bit about the tax credits and the found money business that I founded and I'm running. But I would be remiss if I didn't also add in something on the personal note. We're in a relationship business, so you might as well know I'm a 50-state marathon runner. So over 17 years, and the determination it took to run that is also a metaphor for what entrepreneurs face in terms of the long haul. It's like a marathon. So I guess I'm a marathoner in more than one regard.
Certainly are. So many folks are not familiar with the areas that you have become an expert, and we'll jump into a couple of them in our couple of minutes together. But the work opportunity tax credit, empowerment zones, tell us a little bit about that and how you got into it and what people really need to know.
Well, I would be remiss if I were to mention, I have a staff doing this. It's not all about founding a company, but I've got Megan, Celeste, Allie, and Sue working very hard for something that business owners don't generally understand. They understand profit and loss, they understand reducing expenses, but very few of them have been exposed to tax credits as a way to add cash into their business. And when I heard about this 22 years ago, that businesses were offered generous tax credits by the government, I nearly fell off my chair. And what I did was I started a business to educate many businesses, small and medium-sized businesses, who were completely clueless when it comes to some of those topics. And I talked to them about how their business currently, the current model of their business, like running a restaurant or a grocery store or a staffing company, they're hiring people that are have challenges, have barriers to employment, like food stamp recipients and welfare recipients and felons and veterans. And I explained to them how the government wants them to hire those people and how they can get tax credit as a way of paying them back for doing that. And it really caught on, especially with staffing companies, especially with McDonald's and many other in the restaurant industry. And it's continued to this day. It's been a great ride.
Absolutely. It's really sad when folks leave money on the table. So tax credits for hiring. Let's talk about that. It's a program that encourages employers to hire from a handful of different categories and different groups, which we're not going to have time to go through the entire list because we will send people to your website. But there's money on the table, and your team that you just called out does 95% of the work to make it happen. So, should every business learn more about this? And tell us what we need to know.
I think every business should learn about this, especially small and medium sized, because they don't always have access to this information, which you're so generously allowing them to hear about. This applies to not-for-profit businesses for hiring veterans and for for-profit businesses for the other groups which I mentioned, which typically have barriers to employment. People who don't have the greatest job history and who struggle to get jobs. They're on welfare, they're on food stamps, they have some sort of a disability. And this helps to level the playing field so that employers can not only know of these credits, but know if they seek out and hire these people, they're going to get a bonus from the government in terms of an income tax credit. This is money that really flows right to their bottom line, which is very exciting. And the thing I love about this is it's very easy to do. They already do the hiring process. They already have a payroll system. What we do is plug into an existing system so they don't have to reinvent the wheel and learn a bunch of new stuff. 95% of it, they hardly ever see. So it's attractive to them because they can make money with doing very little work. And we love doing the work because small businesses and medium-sized businesses often are overlooked.
Absolutely. And the crazy thing about this is that because there are so many programs that are out there, accountants don't even know to look for this. And that's where your team comes in. And this is, again, taking the money that's on the table that businesses, small businesses, like you said, so desperately need to help them grow. And Jeff, you've been in this line of work for a long time. So this is actually the end of the year. What sort of changes can we expect? Should we expect? And I'm sure that your team is tracking moving into the new year.
The changes that are on the table right now in Washington are the stimulus bill, which will hopefully extend the work opportunity tax credit for maybe up 1 to 5 years. We should know that if we don't already. And that in the new year is a perfect time to make changes, especially when it comes to hiring and payroll. 1/1/21 is an outstanding time to say, make your resolutions, start participating in something new, add this to your other resolutions that you make.
I love it. New Year's resolutions. So Jeff Newcorn, you are an expert in these areas, and no doubt you have piqued a lot of people's interest in our conversation, which we will continue. How can people learn more and get in touch?
They can reach us either on our website, www.rjeffrey, that's RJEFFREY.com. They can use the traditional phone, if I can add that in, 847-795-1400.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff Newcorn, thanks so much for joining us and the team at R. Jeffrey and Associates, experts in this area. And I do hope and encourage every small business owner to get in touch, pick up that money that's being left on the table, learn more about those opportunities and the changes, and even just have a simple conversation with the expert, the guru himself, Jeff Newcorn. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back on Get Down to Business in just a moment, all about small business jobs and entrepreneurship. Conversation will continue in just a moment.